All right, we are back. Hopefully, with the league cooperating this time. I apologize for that. That was a new one. I will investigate what happened, but unfortunately, we did lose the data for the first couple of games, so we're gonna have to replay those, and hopefully, things will work out this time. Better for everybody who wanted to win, and better for everybody who wanted to lose. And we'll see what happens in the meantime. Thankfully, it was only a couple days. That's why I typically save after like a week or so just to be safe. But I don't know if it was something with the things that got downloaded or not, but we'll see. So we'll just pretend that didn't happen. We'll cancel that stream off the interwebs, and it will have never taken place. But Orlando was meant to beat Brooklyn, obviously, because I did it again. And this time, Golden State gets the win over Sacramento. So we'll try to send the first couple days. Brooklyn loses again to OKC. So Brooklyn was just destined to lose those games, no matter what. And, okay, we were through the third, so let's get through the third again and make sure. Let's hope that it doesn't go down this time again in the same spot. Washington beats Orlando. See, everything is right with the world. Rizzo says that the Charlotte Wasps lose. All is right in the WSBA universe. So, okay, looks like we're okay so far. Slight hiccups, but we're back on track here. On the third, Bootsy Migley 43 for the Blues. Riggs and Barrett with 35 each. In a losing effort for Dallas, Denver 108-96. And we have to save that. We have to play a week of games before we save, Chris. That's the rules. Here we go, 4-game slate on the 4th. Well, Boston over Philly in a high score. Detroit over Cleveland in a low score. Portland squeaks out one over Minnesota. And looks like OKC got a victory in there too, as it's moving faster through games that are not human-owned. Tyler Cleaver for 40. For Portland, Stackhouse 34. For Boston, Portland leads the night in points, assists, and rebounds in that 131-130 victory over Minnesota. Friday the 5th. Let's go. Holy cow, 154-141. That had to be overtime. We got to see the box score from that game. Washington picks up a win over Atlanta. Dallas over LA. Memphis over San Antonio. Another loss for Charlotte. Still on the road to that number 1 pick. Milwaukee getting very close to 500 again. Larry Logan had 46 in a losing effort to Brooklyn. Not an overtime game. Wow. 295 points of offense and not in overtime. Logan with 46 and a -9. DeLeo with 34. Tarkini and Metcalf 26 each. Map off the bench for 18. Holy cow. Look at that. They give up 50. Brooklyn drops 50 in the second, and Miami comes back and drops almost 50 in the third. Unbelievable game. All right, here we go on the 6th. Let's see, anything interesting on the slate here. Milwaukee and Portland should be a good one. Cleveland and Denver also will be interesting, I think. Chicago in a low-scoring win over Detroit. Philly struggles again with another sub-500 team. Ferguson drops 30 for Cleveland, but it's not enough to get past Ross Barrett and his 44 from Denver. And Toronto's center Georgie Dimitrova has been named WSBA Player of the Week. So congratulations to Toronto for bringing home that honor. Mike Mitchell, 47 on the night for Philly. James Warren with 11 assists. There's Shada up there with 39 points. Barrett has just been a machine for Denver. Absolute machine. He's killed their chances for the number 1 pick, I think. But he's looking good for Denver. Denver's got themselves a nice piece going forward. Breeze, there's been a lot of mid-season free agent signings by some teams. Nothing of major notability, though. Here we go. On the 7th, Brooklyn picks up another win as they smash Atlanta. Well, there's Speedy Parker for New York. That's a fun name. Yes, Jeannie, the option to speed up on non-human teams is one of the options that's available in the settings. Charlotte gets blown out again. All right, we made it to Monday. We're going to save. Let's recap things really quick. See where everybody stands. Toronto stands atop the Atlantic. Boston and Brooklyn and Philly all chasing them down. That's a tough division. Chicago has got the Central wrapped up pretty much. And Washington has the Southeast wrapped up, I would say. In the Southwest Division, New Orleans looking good. Memphis still hanging around. OKC's opened up a 12-game lead over Utah. And Golden State's 7.5 up on the Commodores. Conference-wise, Detroit has moved into that 8th spot. Detroit, Miami, Atlanta, Orlando, New York. Cleveland and Indiana aren't totally out of it yet there. Portland has worked their way into the 8th spot here. Denver is got 12 wins now, so the tank job is not being done in Denver. And we'll go back to the games here. Let's see, Chris, I missed your comment. What was Hyde Show G League function maybe one day? Oh, you mean you don't want to see the G League scores at all, Chris, as a function in the game? Let's see. While we wait for that, let's start this one up. Boston and Chicago. That should be an interesting matchup to start. We'll see if Philly underperforms against another sub-500 team. And Boston with the upset there over Chicago. New Orleans continues to roll. Philly gets the job done. OKC with another win. Portland with a victory over Charlotte. Cleveland loses, and I drop a game to Sacramento there. Jeez, even though these teams are losing in the 8th spot, my team, Orlando, just can't get out of its own way. Chambers again, 43. Mike Puckett, if anybody's looking for, I'll do a little bit of selling for myself here. If anybody's looking for a guard, Mike Puckett could be your man. 16.5 points per game, 8.2 assists. Just keep him in mind if you're looking for a guy. Yeah, Chris, the G League games always are on the back end of it. So here we go with the 9th. Utah over Brooklyn. Milwaukee gets to 500. There's Memphis over Houston. Golden State with a 40-point drumming of Dallas. Cleveland drops another one. So I think despite Cleveland's trade, they're they're heading for the lottery, I think. Unless I don't know how long McDonald's is. We'll check it out as we finish up the sim, but they are struggling mightily. Migley again with 41. Foreman, he's been fantastic for Milwaukee. Frank the Tank Johnson, 40 points for Memphis. And here we go. Yep, Van, we've got Washington at Chicago. Chicago coming off that loss to Boston. We got some interesting games here. Brooklyn and Philly. That ought to be a good matchup. Toronto and OKC. We got some good ones here on the 10th. Cleveland is always bad in January. It's been January for a long time this year for Cleveland. Let's get going here. Boston, Philly gets the job done against Brooklyn. Sorry, Van. Chicago with the win there. Charlotte upsets Denver. A road victory for Charlotte, and Toronto almost gets OKC. Orlando loses to the Waves. Looking back, Joey Morrissey, first time we've seen his name at the top of the leaderboard for points. James Warren, no surprise, with 18 assists. We had a Cleaver injury? He only got 25 minutes in. Still player of the game. He has a strained knee. He is out 12 days, so that's going to hurt Portland. Still got the win, but they lose their big man. I'll do a quick save since I had to refresh the screen. All right, 5-game slate on the 11th. I'll get beat by LA. Boston and Milwaukee, interesting game here. Denver at Golden State. Here we go, Jedi and Genie. Let's see who takes that one. Boston is rolling right now. And that was a blowout there for Golden State. And as I predicted, I lost to LA. I was hoping for a big game out of Barrett here and kind of make this a shooting match, but Barrett must be injured. Do we have an injury to Barrett? We're going to have to check out the injury report here. No, he's not on the injury report. Where did he go? Did I just miss him? I guess it's possible he was injured prior to that. I don't see him. Let me go to Denver's roster. See what happened to Ross. That's interesting. He had a one game where he didn't show. Maybe Denver was trying to tank on purpose. I don't know. We'll have to we'll have to see what happened. Jedi, what'd you do? Send the secret code out to tank there? We'll have to find out if he comes back in the next game. Yeah, maybe Barrett needed a Kawhi day. Chicago and Philly tonight here on the 12th. Chicago picks up the win. Warren with his 10th triple-double. Wow, Minnesota and Indiana set basketball back 20 years. 74-59. Goodness. Jerry Riggs, 42 for Dallas in their victory over Portland. Hopper there, 28. Greer with 30. Warren with that triple-double, 31, 11, and more than 10 rebounds, or 10 rebounds. Shada with 12 assists on the night. Now I'm interested to get to the next Denver game and see what's going on. Denver is not on the schedule for the 13th. So we'll see. We have a mystery brewing in Denver. We've also got... Oh, okay, there we go. Boston over Phoenix, Milwaukee. Starting to surge. Philly drops another... Philly gonna Philly against New York there. Chicago wins Atlanta, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Toronto picks up the win over Minnesota. And OKC closing in on 41. Genie, there you go, 31-point victory over the lowly Orlando Mystics. Foreman with 41 again, trying to push himself back into MVP talk. We have talks of coach firing, talks of coach tankings. We'll see. Sean Roberts, WSBA Player of the Week that time. Jamal Rice being shopped possibly by Houston, who of course is just an AI team right now. 2 games on the 14th. There's Barrett back in the lineup for Denver, leading them to a victory over Indiana. Short night there with only 2 games. Larry Logan with 36. Barrett is back, as maybe they were just resting him. Guess he just got a day off. He'd been working too hard, scoring all those 40-point games. Let's see. Rizzo asked about changing positions. We haven't allowed that yet. I guess we'll have... somebody else asked me about that too, so maybe we'll have to take that under consideration. But as of right now, no, we haven't allowed position changes. Here we go. Final sim of our final night of the sim here. Classic matchup: Boston and LA. Philly over Brooklyn. Brooklyn sliding towards 500, but they're still going to make the playoffs. The rest of the East is bad at the bottom. Atlanta surprises Toronto. Thanks, Rizzo. Needed a win. And Washington picks up another win. Portland taking down Golden State there. Indiana cannot score the basketball. Oh, Mike Puckett got injured. I hope it's not bad, because I hoped I could trade him. So if you're out there, just pretend that Mike Puckett didn't get injured and send in those trade offers. Let's wrap it up with taking a look at the injury report and, of course, the standings. Looking for major injuries. Keith Oliver is out with a sore back for Brooklyn. McDonald will be back next sim for Cleveland, but I don't know if it's too late. We'll check the standings, see how far out Cleveland still is. A lot of minor injuries so far. Minnesota's hurting, but they'll be getting healthy shortly. All 5 of those injuries in this sim. What is going on in Minnesota? Bad training staff. Mike Puckett pulled his groin. Out 17 days. That's okay. He's still tradable. Still tradable. Get your offers in for Mike Puckett now. Let's see. Lonnie Washburn was out from the prior 2 sims prior. So Jermaine Jones from Utah, strained calf. Looks like Puckett was the worst injury. Quick look around the standings. Out east, Chicago still with that lead. Boston, Toronto, Washington, Philly, Brooklyn losing ground, Milwaukee making up ground, Miami. No surprise that they seem to probably be the best team for that 8th spot. Cleveland is now 7.5 back of Miami. Cleveland, if you're behind Orlando, you know you're in the wrong spot. I can just say that right now. Still an outside chance, I think, for these teams. Cleveland is definitely reeling, though. Out west, Golden State's closing in on OKC. Golden State 9-1 in their last 10. OKC 8-2. New Orleans 8-2 in their last 10. LA Commodores 8-2 in their last 10. A lot of good basketball being played by the top half of the West there. Portland, that injury to Cleaver, a little costly, but Houston, Phoenix, Dallas, San Antonio really haven't shown a lot. Phoenix 7-3 in their last 10. And we still have Denver, LA, and Sacramento battling for the bottom there. So we've got 6 teams with 13 wins or less, kind of racing for that top. It is the even or the modern lottery. So the number 1 pick does not have the automatic. The worst team does not have the automatic percentage advantage there. And yes, Jeannie, we do not have an owner for OKC. So if anybody is out there looking to join OKC, you can join right in at what is currently the top team in the league, 86.4% winning percentage, a half a game better than Chicago. So that was a very interesting sim. I apologize for the difficulties we had to start, but we got there. We got it done. And we have one more full sim coming up. And then I think what we'll do at the beginning of February is maybe we'll just have a short sim. Maybe we'll sim the first 7 days. And then so we end it right at the trade deadline, give everybody one more week to trade. And then the next week, because there's that break during the All-Star weekend where games aren't played, maybe we'll finish off February that way. Chicago has a GM. Yep. And no relegation. Sorry, Rizzo, you have to just stick it out here and make that Charlotte team better. So that'll do it for this week of the WSBA. We'll be back next week. 8 o'clock is our current stream time now on Wednesday. So we'll see you back here at 8 o'clock next Wednesday. Don't forget to join us on Tuesday night for the Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2021 Developer Dynasty. And the Developer Dynasty on college football is finished and all wrapped up because the game is going to launch at the end of this week officially. So if you want to pre-order on that one, get in right now because your time to do so is just about up. So thanks, guys, for coming to the stream. All our league members providing a fun and exciting chat as always. And we'll get the league files updated on the website and new files up for you to download shortly. Hopefully tonight, maybe in the morning. We'll see. But thank you for coming out, and we'll see you back in the Slack channel, all you league guys. And we'll see you next week, everybody else, right here on Twitch for the WSBA. Take care, everybody.